Dale Not Dale Podcast.
What's up, Vaughn?
What up, what up, what up?
Dude, you missed We're Back last week, so you got to make that up when we get the guest in.
I'm going to make it up today whenever the guest comes on, and I'm going to make sure that we get it back.
Okay. That'll get We're Back.
We got to get We're Back.
What you holding there?
Oh.
Funny you should ask.
Funny you should ask. It's really cold on my crotch.
Oh.
I just got a shipment in.
Good Ranchers.
From Good Ranchers. American style Wagyu.
I'm holding some Good Ranchers USDA choice or higher Angus beef ribeye steaks. And let me take a look at these things. Let me go look at these warlocks.
Dude.
Yo! Hey, I'll tell you what. I cooked these last week. Fire.
Burgers.
I cooked some burgers the other night too.
Burgers are phenomenal.
Dude, why do you have meat left? I cooked almost all my meat.
So here's the problem with it is I was traveling a whole lot and I couldn't cook every day. And I don't want my wife to ruin good meat.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I had a procedure done, so I couldn't really cook that week. So I think we're gonna Good Ranchers it out this whole weekend too.
We just need to have maybe Magnus come over. We cook for Magnus.
We need to. God bless him.
Yeah, God bless them. So Good Ranchers, man, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. These guys have been taking care of us. One, being a title sponsor for our podcast, but two, send us some great Good Ranchers meat monthly. We're on the subscription as well. The stuff's awesome. And then as right now, you can get bacon free for a year.
Whole year.
With your subscription.
Absolutely.
The other day, they had like a free, I don't know if it's still going on, you get free 2 pound of salmon at that point too. So it's a pretty good deal.
They've run a lot of specials.
They do have a lot of specials. But the best special to use is what?
D&D Pod.
D&D Pod at checkout. Get you $20 off plus. Right now, get you free bacon for a year.
Free bacon for a year.
$200 value.
Yep, and it shows your love.
And it's American meat delivered. And the stuff comes to your house frozen, man. Boxed up, ready to be thawed and
cooked,
grilled, broiled, sautéed, however you want to do it.
And don't leave the box on your front porch for a long time. I don't think that'd be good.
No. Somebody probably steal it.
Somebody'd steal it.
So, so we wanted to get on here, talk about our sponsor, Good Ranchers. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you go goodranchers.com. Use the code DNDPOD at checkout. Support our podcasts. Show some love to our sponsor.
Yep, who shows love to us. Making the greatest meat you can get door to door. Fastest growing online meat company in the United States.
American meat delivered. American podcast delivered.
American Dale delivered.
American Dale. In Dale we trust.
In Dale we trust. Hashtag meat group.
Yep. So last week we had the Good Rancher guys on, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was a good time.
Jermango
Unchained.
We learned a lot about Jermango.
Dude, he's a convict.
He mentioned multiple times he's been handcuffed. He's been pepper sprayed multiple times. I'm like, dude, what kind of life do you live?
Dude, the funny thing is he doesn't strike that. Like, if I look at Jermaine, he just looks like a really nice guy. He's
got a dark side.
I didn't know that he was dealing in the dark arts.
I like it. But he's turned his life around for Good Ranchers, and these guys have great meat. So make sure to go buy Good Rancher.
They sure do. He's changed his life one steak at a time.
One steak at a time. Use the code DNDPOD at checkout at
goodranchers.com.
Goodranchers.com. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Uncle Dale and Vaughn with stories to unfold. So sit back, relax, and behold. We discussing life and all its ups and downs. Tune in from your side of town. Talking pop cultures, movies, and TV shows. Giving the thoughts and much more. This shit is style, clothes, and gadgets galore. Keeping you entertained, you'll be begging for more. Cause we gon' laugh and hey, maybe even crying. But one thing's for sure, you'll be smiling. Cause Uncle Dale and Vaughn are at your side. So come along, join, and let's ride. They bring the heat,
We're recording. We're on air.
We are. And to make up for last week, I forgot to tell you, we're back.
Well, we got another. We got a fun one in studio, Mr. Brett Chancey.
That's right.
I say it
yes,
right?
Sir. That's right.
From Locked On Astros podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's the official title?
That is the official title. Yeah, starting my 4th season with Locked On, and it has been a fun ride. It's a great time to be an Astros podcaster.
Yeah,
The
it
last
is.
4 years have been pretty
been
stellar.
nice.
Yeah, I wonder what the podcasters for the Astros were doing in like 09.
Ugh.
I don't even. Was it even a thing in 09?
I mean, Joe Rogan started like around that time.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was nobody was really doing that then.
I mean, the team wasn't a thing.
Let's talk about the.
Oh, 5 they were. Then they got
Let's talk
swept.
about Hunter Pence. Oh wait, he's gone.
He is gone. He is gone.
I
Yeah,
think
that was like the
I
only
think-
good team.
I think Jose Cruz was still playing then.
Dude, that
Maybe that's when they had Jose Cruz Jr. Like
Yeah.
they tried to bring in Pudge Rodriguez and Kaz Matsui and
Dude,
Yeah.
you know.
Jose Cruz Jr. was supposed to be like the next big thing. I had his like some of his like great like his refractor rookie cards that were like
yeah.
worth a bunch, and then it went to nothing like quick. So but yeah, man, we thank you for coming in, dude. We
For sure.
Me and you connected on I guess Twitter
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, a year or two ago, probably, I guess. And so we've been talking, and then we talked about me getting on your podcast, and then we started ours, and I was like, man, let's get you on ours. I wanted to get you on somewhere beginning or the start of the baseball season, so it's good timing.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know, I mean, since you already had Bregman, I figured.
yeah, we follow up with
You know,
Brett.
let
Brettman.
the Breggy Bomb guy come on first, and
Yeah.
then bring on HTown Wheelhouse to kind
That's
of
right.
solidify the Astros vibe here.
yeah. This episode's gonna make everybody forget about his episode. For sure.
So
It's a tall order.
so you're a fellow podcaster. You've been doing it 4 years. So man, we're only we're not even a year in yet. So we're got 37 as of today that came out. This
Yeah.
was our 37th episode that went on air. So what's been like for you? How many you got on your belt? 4 years.
So with Locked On Astros has 1,066 right now, I believe. I've been on about probably 800 of those because it started a year before I started. And before that, I had got into podcasting using the Anchor app with my Apple.
Anchor.
Yeah, use
yeah.
Anchor. You do the little. I think I made like $6 on that podcast.
Good.
Well spent $6. I think it went to Dollar General. It's when everything was
Did you
$1.
report it?
Yeah, it's actually no, I didn't report it, so don't tell anybody, please.
Your expenses outweighed your
Oh
income.
yeah, way,
I know.
a lot more.
After we're done with this, we'll show you our taxes.
Well, so
Yeah.
so here's the deal. When I was doing this, I randomly came across a guy reached out to me, and I honestly don't remember his name anymore. He was some guy from Hollywood. He wanted to represent me, and I'm like, represent me? It's like, look, pay me $100 a month. I'll bring you guests. At the time, I wasn't making any money. It's like, well, I don't have $100 a month.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't I throw you like a bone? I'll give you a couple guys from Florida, and I'll get you in touch with Tito Santana. And I'm like, the wrestler? So I literally interviewed Tito Santana, the first Mexican-American WWE or WWF world champion, on my podcast. He's like a 8th grade science teacher in New Jersey now. But I interviewed Tito Santana. When I was on my own, I interviewed John Boy before I got to Locked On Astros.
Oh, really?
I
I like his.
I interviewed Chris Castellani, before he blew up. He's with Barstool now. And I just got used to doing it. And growing up, I stuttered a lot, so I didn't get a whole lot of words in.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to make up for all the times I didn't get to speak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people are like, does he ever stop talking?
Shut
and
up.
The answer is basically no.
Yeah.
So they had it a year prior to you. How
Right.
did you roll into that role? I mean,
So-
was your first podcast about sports or?
So I did, I just called it Quick Hits by HTown Wheelhouse. And I randomly gave myself that name on Twitter because I like the term wheelhouse. I'm a big baseball guy. I grew up, baseball was my first love.
Yeah.
That's the way I connected with my dad. That's the way I connected with my faith growing up. And so baseball means so much more to me than just a sport. Like, I can't fathom why someone would not like baseball.
Yeah.
That's really hard for me to, like, I don't get it. It's like, it's like, how can you not cheer for Rocky and Rocky 4, right? It just seems inevitable. And so when I was doing it on my own, Eric, who is the co-host, Eric the Man Heisman, and myself, one of our friends said, hey, you need to talk to Eric. He does talking stros on the radio. So Eric did talking stros, and we kind of got to know each other. And then Locked On had called him. He did it for about a year and then called me. He's like, hey, bro, I need some help. He's like, this is intense. I go, what are you doing? I was like, well, it's like 5 days a week, all season long. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it. And this is when we weren't really getting a whole lot for it. So we were putting a lot of time in. The editing took forever, and there was no video. So we were editing the heck out of all the audio.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a match made in heaven. I mean, Eric and I think we complement each other well because we're so different.
Right.
And it was a friendship that we had because our sons were friends in school.
So what's his background?
So he's a teacher.
Okay.
He's a teacher. He is an algebra teacher. I'm a Texas history teacher. So we're both teachers by day. Both of our sons went to the same school.
Oh,
We
nice.
both love the Astros. We came in at different eras. I went to my first game as a 2-year-old to the Astrodome. His first player that
Who led off? Do you remember?
When I was 2, no. I actually remember going up the stairs, like the spiral things, but I don't remember the game. Something about an armadillo on a 3-wheeler, but that's all I recall.
Yeah.
His first favorite player was Jeff Bagwell. So he got into it like the late 90s.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to have our perspectives because we have two different perspectives.
Yeah, different eras for sure too.
Both, losing eras for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And, now we come into this golden age. But yeah, that's just it literally, I was in the right place at the right time. So I don't make any bones or try to fake like, Locked On was like HTown Wheelhouse. He's our guy. It was completely happenstance, and it's worked. And we were actually the first MLB channel within our network to be awarded a YouTube channel because of the work we were doing. And now,
So you Locked On, they made that decision. Okay, hey, we're going to give y'all a YouTube channel because of what you're doing. Okay.
yeah, so they had started with the NBA. Locked On, all the NBA channels were going to it. So the phase 1, we were in phase 2. In phase 2, they're like, we're going to bring on 1 or 2 MLB teams. And they're like, Locked On Astros, you're going to be the first team to have a YouTube
So
channel.
that's a company. They started in Utah, right? The Locked On.
They started, yes. So
the franchise, I guess, is what it.
yeah, so David Locke, who's the voice of the Utah Jazz, started it back in 2016. And he would just call these post-game podcasts Locked On Jazz because he goes by David Locke. And someone's like, you need to do this with the Raptors. You know someone here. You know someone in Charlotte. You know someone in Toronto. Okay, so then they started building it. The MLB portion, I think, was the last leg that was built into it. Now, every major sport has a Locked On show. We're the second largest podcast network, sports podcast network, and the only people in front of us is ESPN.
Wow.
Who's ESPN? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
Never
totally
heard of her.
The 4-letter network.
We had Jeff Darlington on recently. I don't know if you've seen that.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
had from ESPN. We played golf with him in a celebrity golf tournament.
Nice.
During the Super Bowl.
See, look,
was awesome, man.
you guys are playing down like this 30-something episode thing.
Yeah.
But truth be known, like if we were to go inside my studio, we would have to be sitting on the floor right now. And I would say, can you bring your mic, sir?
Yeah.
We just take the whole thing with us.
Right, that would be cool.
we have done a mobile one. We did a mobile one at the Republic Boot Company in the Heights, and so that was pretty cool. We took it on the road. They got a winery down in Santa Fe. A buddy of mine runs. We're gonna do one there in the cellar.
Nice.
With them. We're gonna come just bring the stuff and go shoot one there.
Now, is this going to be like a drunk history episode?
I mean, as long as my DD, so yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'll get hammered.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink, so I'll be perfect.
The drunker everybody gets, the crazier I act.
You're like the guy that, like, I think the University of Washington did some study with like students and how they reacted to beer or to alcohol, and they gave like one party non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
And they gave another party like the alcoholic beer, and the kids that drink the non-alcoholic beer actually act worse than the kids that are actually drunk.
It's the placebo effect. We know a friend of ours is very big into placebo effects.
There you go.
He does cupping and K-tape.
He thinks it's placebo. Yep.
Man.
So the locked on thing. So that's been going for you for 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And y'all do. You said you do 5 nights a week.
We do it 5 nights a week.
Any game night. That's what it is. Or
so Sunday through Thursday we record. So whether they're off. So if they're off, what we do is we go live 8:30. I mean, 99% of our shows are live. We just It works better. There's less editing because for some reason when we are on air, when we have a camera in our face, there's less to take out. Of course, there will be some shows where I'm like, oh, there was like 5 minutes where I'll just pull that audio out. So sometimes in audio, you'll get a little bit more clean presentation.
Yeah.
But the video, I think it reduces it a little bit because for whatever reason, you're paying attention to people's mannerisms more than what they're saying or how they're saying it.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. Like editing, literally, I probably shouldn't reveal this, but it takes me less than 10 minutes.
Well, hey, for me, like I put our podcast together, the audio. So I do it probably about 15 minutes. I can do a whole. Ours range from an hour to hour, almost 2 hours. Some of them sometimes.
Cool. Okay. Well, see, I felt like I was cheating our podcast. Now I feel better.
No. Once you get in there,
no, man, I've got it figured out, man. I got a bunch of settings I've saved, but like just the other day, we needed to do a new ad, so I texted him. I was like, "Hey, give me your voice memo." I told him to read some of these lines from our sponsor. I read some stuff, put it together, put a new ad out. I mean, so we've done that just from iPhone. Boom, boom.
Cool.
Put the stuff on. But it was trial by fire. I mean, early on, I had my brother-in-law helping. He's real big with editing and do all this stuff. So I had him producing the show. I mean, literally, he did it in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Clicking it. I mean, he's real fast. And so I wanted to learn it, so I learned it. I've gotten some tips and tricks from Magnus, our producer, as well. He puts together our video. I give him clean audio. He makes the videos, helps doing all the shorts and reels and stuff we put on
Very cool.
Instagram,
I like that.
TikTok. I mean, so we're doing a lot, man. Like I said, I got a buddy of mine in Canada who drew our he does commission stuff for like MLB, NFL, and all those stuff like that. Vito. So he made our logo. And so I'm about to start working with him. He's about to revamp my website. I mean, so we're doing a lot trying to make this bigger.
I'm actually honored and humbled that you guys asked me to come on, and I'm glad we live so close to each other.
Yeah,
it makes it easy.
It's way better in person because it's just a better vibe. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we do some guys what you got to do over the air, which is part of it because we're not at the point we're going to be flying people in like Joe Rogan to come get on the podcast. You know.
Now, if you fly Joe Rogan, you got to invite me.
Yeah.
I'll sit on the exercise bike over there.
I think we're going to try to go to him.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be your security guard. I'll be the only 5'8", 240-pound security guard. You know. But hey, I actually brought y'all some goodies.
Okay.
You did. Yeah.
There's a little
right down here.
There's a little gift box over here. Now, I'm kind of upping my game. I brought y'all a baseball from FanFest.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, it's got the little FanFest logo, so you can get that to one of the kids.
We got some
I brought
stickers.
a bunch of stickers.
Oh, sweet. HTown Wheelhouse.
So Locked on Astros. I brought some.
These Pogs?
No, yes.
Beds.
These gifts brought to you by the 90s. No, they're actually little. They're just little random buttons I got on Sticker Mule. Some shameless plugs of HTown Wheelhouse. Give it to the kids. Give it to the neighbors' kids, or hey, put them on your hat.
Absolutely.
That's cool. I wish I had thought about it. I'll send you a T-shirt.
Cool.
One of our podcast shirts. I
Awesome.
forgot to grab one.
I would love that.
Dude, these are sweet, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so I figured, I would just a little token of our appreciation for cross promoting, and I'll definitely say something on the show tonight because hopefully the Astros will beat the Tigers in the second game of this series. And
man, last night was.
Those are you're with 6 hits and 9 with 9 hits and 6 runs, you're supposed to win those games.
Yeah,
but I told everybody that this year is going to be different. It's not going to be 2022 is an anomaly. No injuries. Relief pitching was perfect. Was record breaking.
Dude, Preston came in one of his first games and he had struggled. He was yanking at his arm. You notice that?
Yeah, and so I wasn't watching the game because I was there.
Okay.
And I heard Roger Clemens talking about it, and you know what I've noticed, because podcasting, I don't go to as many games as I would like to, because if I've got to talk about the game after, and I go to the game, I miss a ton of detail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And what's funny is people call you out. Like, I love our fans. I love our listeners. But sometimes it's like, dude, like, I don't know at all.
Yeah.
They're like, how could you miss that? I'm like, I was there at the game. Yeah, but you were there. And it's so It's so funny how hypercritical people can be. I think they mean well for the most part.
Yeah, but man, baseball fans are diehard fans, dude, and so
Baseball savants are the worst.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No offense. They annoy the hell out of me. Like I get that you're smart and you talk about the 19-degree drop of a curveball and it spins 2,480 revolutions,
there,
all that stuff, right? So it's like baseball's supposed to be fun, but what they're doing to baseball now is terrible.
What do you think about the pitch clock?
Oh, I hate it. It's crap. It's like you know, the Padres. You know, Manny Machado was up at bat.
He got ejected.
He called timeout, and then they struck him out because he got a third strike. So he was taking too long. I'm like, did he not put his hand up fast enough?
They ejected him from the game.
Yeah, they threw him out because he was arguing balls and strikes. No, he was arguing and you know who it was? Oh gosh, what's the guy's name? Ron Coppola.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think this dude's in the mafia.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's dirty.
He's pretty.
They're all in the mafia.
Dude, I met one of the commissioners for AAA, one of the umpires, and this dude had like some random nugget ring on his pinky, and he's like, I went to this barbecue place. They got some nice broads over there. I'm like, broads?
I thought Ollie said that.
I think you meant brats.
No.
Wow.
But because he told me how he umpired with Joe West and all this stuff, and he hated replay and he hated challenges. I'm sure the
Them
umpires
guys don't want to be told they're wrong.
Well, they love the rules now because they have more control.
I know, but them guys do not want. I mean, even dude, we have kids in select baseball.
Yeah.
And dude, ain't nothing worse. Even them, they'll interject themselves in the game at this age. Like, dude, what the hell? Like, it's bad, dude. They got some power trip freaking umpires.
Have you ever been ejected from a little league game?
No, I really don't. I don't care as much.
I was not ejected by a umpire by any means, but I was asked to get out of the parent area.
See, I was ejected 2 years ago. And I actually, after I got ejected, I called my dad. I said, Dad, I finally got ejected. He said, I'm proud of you, son. And it was this.
Finally proud of you.
Well, yeah, finally, after all these years. It only took 46 years.
It took so long.
Jesus, Dad, what is your problem? Like, come on, take a chance with Chancey, right?
Yeah.
But so I'll tell you this real quick, if you don't mind. This umpire, and I had found out he had tossed like 3 other coaches that year.
Yeah.
I think after he tossed me, I think he got removed from our league. So this dude was on a power trip, and he had ended 2 innings in a row on controversial plays. One where the first baseman of the other team dropped the ball, called our guy out. Another one where a guy was tagged. He said he was tagged out. He was clearly back to the base. But both of those killed rallies in that inning. We ended up losing that game by like 1 run.
Yeah.
And when the second one was done in a row, when I threw my arms up, I hit my hat. So I think he thought I threw my hat. And I go, what are you doing? You're ruining the game. And he goes, you're out of here. I'm like, what? And so I was so furious. I was like, okay, don't cuss, don't say anything, because my son was watching, I was watching. I started to walk off the field, and I turned around and said, no, I'm going to get the final word. And I said, let me just know. I was like, I just want you to know this, that everybody in the stands knows what you know, that when you wake up in the mirror, you look at yourself and you say, I'm an incompetent umpire. And I walked off
You should to the base, too.
Well, I might have gotten an assault charge these days.
Yeah.
But it was, so the next game I couldn't be at the field. So you know what I did? I parked in the umpire parking spot right and right field and watched the game. Technically wasn't supposed to be there, but yeah. I was like, I was parking your parking spot, dude. Yeah, that was fun.
I would say, I mean, it's kind of common nowadays to see parents and coaches ejected in select baseball.
Parents can be the worst.
They are the worst. I have nothing to do. My son plays baseball. So, he does the select thing. I've grown to just be there for them and not get involved with the he said, she said, blah blah blah. It's just there's so much dynamic to kids baseball now that it does take it away for some of the fans
Oh no, it does.
of their child. That's crazy.
So the best parent I ever saw, the best example, Craig Biggio.
Yeah.
Craig Biggio came to our gym when I was in Pearland. It was like this big. Pearland used to put on this huge like volleyball tournament. It's not as big as it used to be, but this one year, 88 teams. St. Magnus was there.
Yeah.
Biggio's daughter was a senior libero, and my friend goes, "Dude, Biggio's up in the stands." So of course, we all got a picture with them.
Oh yeah.
Got him sign a baseball. It was in my room. Stuff like he was real nice, but he never said a word. He never clapped. When his daughter was done playing, he gave her a thumbs up. Went out to his car. When the next game came in, sat down. He was the least active parent in the stands, and I'm like, that dude gets it. He's also played at the highest level.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Yeah. I haven't played.
And he doesn't understand volleyball either, though. I'm sure.
He's like, where's the foul line?
Like libero. Where's
Yes.
where?
Libero, is that a font?
Yeah, I didn't see George Strait sing yet.
So who's your favorite Astro all time, man?
My favorite Astro all time has become Jose Altuve.
Altuve?
Just the way he plays the game, his story, the kind of person he is off the field too. Just it's hard not to love that guy. We've actually met him a couple times. My son got to take the field with him as an Astro buddy one time, and just the interactions we've had with him. But all time before that, I think growing up, it had to be Jose Cruz.
Yeah.
Just because Jose Cruz was the guy that I couldn't figure out for 5 years why they were booing my favorite player.
St. Cruz. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
But I got to learn how to catch a ball in the outfield during an Astros buddies baseball clinic at the Astrodome.
Yeah.
Jose Cruz taught me. He wasn't talking to anybody else but me.
Yeah.
And just watching him play and hit home runs in the Astrodome. To hit home runs in the Astrodome was a task.
Yeah.
Big spot, man.
When this is coming to think of when I was a little kid and there was like this child rumor going on. Like I don't think it's true to this day, but somebody said that Nolan Ryan was doing batting practice and hit a ball into the ceiling and put a hole in the ceiling of the Astrodome.
Interesting.
I swear I believed that for like 10 years.
Really?
And no one's confirmed or denied it. I need to find out.
Well, what's funny is like I don't know if you guys do garage sales. Do y'all
No.
do garage sales?
No.
See, I hate garage sales so much I don't even have them anymore.
I
Right?
do donations.
We did a garage sale one time, and I'm not lying. 3 cars pulled up, 10 people got out, and by the time they left, half our stuff was gone.
For half of what you asked for.
They took it. No, they didn't even pay. I'm like, where's this? I'm like,
They took it.
they robbed us in broad daylight.
Yeah.
So I hate garage sales. But my friend's mom said, well, I was excited to give you this bat, but I didn't realize it was broken. And we're like, you bought a broken bat? She goes, yes. And she handed it to my friend and I. It's this massive bat with pine tar all over it, with athletic tape, and on the end of the bat, Jose Cheo Cruz.
No kidding.
A game use.
Game
Jose,
used bet.
she paid $2 for it in a garage sale, and he still has it to this day.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
She still has it to this day?
No, he still has
Oh,
it. Yeah.
okay.
But she was like, I was going to have you use it in the game, and it was so heavy.
Hey, so I told the story to Bregman. I had him. He sent me a silent auction gift for I was doing a Dance with the Stars thing here in League City.
Okay.
And I asked him for a silent auction gift. He's like, hey, man, he's like, oh, yeah. Like, dude, he had his manager overnight me something. And my wife called. She goes, man, I got this dirty bat from Bregman. I was like, freaking game used autograph bat he sent to me
Wow.
to get for the auction. So,
They're like, so where's your auction item? He never sent it.
dude, never shipped it.
Yeah, it was.
As
No,
it sits
dude,
behind you.
It was super cool, man. Yeah,
That is cool.
He was cool. He was cool to get on. It was one thing that ever since we kind of started the podcast, I was like, we're gonna get Bregman on here, and we've
Yeah.
been talking about it. And then I showed you that video. I caught that home run ball of
Yes.
his, and so that's when he commented on it because we follow each other. So then I messaged him about it. He goes, "Yeah, I'll do it in the off season." I was like, "Okay." So we're gonna do it.
Very cool.
And then he stuck to his word, man. And so it was cool, man. We just the timing. If they didn't win the World Series, I would have probably got him in person.
Right.
But being they won the World Series, that run was longer. dude, they were all. I mean, they were everywhere.
Well, yeah,
So I was
they
like,
get
so-
scheduled.
So I let him.
can
I
imagine
let
the
him
PR
just. I was like,
nightmare.
man, I didn't want to bother him. So once it got getting closer to spring training, I hit him up. And he's like, hey, let's do middle of February. And dude, literally, the day before, he was going to the NBA weekend and then going straight to
Wow.
spring training from Utah or whatever. So.
So we saw him play. So we had moved out to Louisiana for 2 years. We lived in Zachary.
Yep.
And so we were like, hey, let's hit up an LSU baseball game at Alex Box Stadium.
I got friends in Zachary.
They had just built it. And here comes this kid out of the dugout, Alex Bregman. And I'm like, this kid's good.
Number 8.
We watched him for 2 years. Him, Aaron Nola,
There, yep.
several Jacoby Jones, several other guys
Jacoby's a stud.
that made it to the majors.
Jacoby Jones, the receiver for the Texans.
Not
No.
not
Okay.
the guy that
Okay,
no,
just
not
making
that
sure.
guy.
Just making
A
sure.
guy that I don't think he plays anymore,
No.
does he? Yeah, he had a short career, but look,
He was stud
he
LSU.
was a stud there. But it was so cool because driving back, my son and I were like, man, it'd be really cool if they drafted Alex Bregman. And what did they do right after that?
Yeah.
They drafted Alex Bregman. That was so cool.
Yeah.
High, and he fast tracked through all.
Oh man, he was like a lightning bolt, man.
That's the coolest thing I think about the draft now. And like I got one of my best friends that he was talking about earlier, the placebo. He was a first round draft pick in 05 out of McNeese to the
Okay.
Marlins. Did 7 years of journeyman, between AA, high A, AAA. Never made it to the show. But nowadays, high draft picks, they get them on the field quicker.
They do.
Which is good because the fans get hyped up about them, and so you've seen that more. I mean, Bregman was one of them. Shoot, he got to the show quick. I mean, plus he was freaking incredible.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
you know,
all right.
Yeah, he's. Yeah.
Can't believe you don't have a gold. I can't believe you don't have a gold glove yet. That's what's wild.
Well, he may be a victim of just the people that he's playing with right now, and
Yeah.
I think sometimes too that if you're in the conversation or if you're in the top 5 of voting, that's still a nod. Yeah, it's not the award, and that's what the player wants.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you were to say, okay, I need you to give me the best defensive third baseman, the guy that's got a solid bat that can be clutch, I think most people would go Alex Bregman just because of who he is, because he transitioned from short to third because
Yeah.
of Correa. And someone's like, well, we need to move him back at short whenever Correa left. And I was like, no,
I think his size, he's only six, a little over 6 foot. I think third base and his size, I think it's a perfect spot
and
for him.
he's developed this ability
He's
to anything that's hit soft, you're like, oh, he's just going to barehand that and throw it over.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's
even the other
perfect.
day, he bobbled a
we've
ball
ju-
and he still got it to the first baseman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how does he do this?
It was like that. It was like the first opening night when they hit that ball and he shot it home,
Yeah.
like cross
I
body.
love,
Dude, it's so
I
pretty.
love when Bregman throws someone out at home. It's so funny. Dodgers fans, remember that.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude,
Yankees
I didn't
fans.
even think about
he's by far my favorite. Astro.
him not getting a gold glove. I mean, he's on a field with a bunch of people that
I mean, Kyle Tucker got one this year.
I'm not saying take
year.
away from them,
Right.
but if you're going to pick out a team, you look at the history of gold gloves, you pick out a team, a lot of times they're around, they make themselves a bright spot on the field because of how good they are
Right.
and the level that everybody else is playing to. With the Astros, that's hard to do. You got a whole bunch of people playing really well.
Exactly.
Yeah, the infield's Gold Glove worthy. They're all around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even.
I don't know if Abreu's that yet, but he's good.
Well, Abreu, he came in. He's like a 311 lifetime with runners in scoring position. He is a hitter. He is a professional hitter. He's a muscled up version of Michael Brantley,
Yeah,
and he's got oppo power.
Brandon's got this pure swing though.
And-
No, he's got
No,
a
he
pretty
does.
swing
He does.
pretty swing in the league.
But
What's up with him? you know?
I believe he will be back probably in a couple weeks. If we're talking right now on the 4th, I would think by the last few days of April, we should see him introduced. Now, I don't know if they're going to rehab start him in AAA before they bring him, or if they're just going to bring him straight up. Because I don't know how much work they're going to. Because he's on the minor league fields right now in West Palm. I think he might be running some simulated type game situations.
Okay.
And then I just heard Lance McCullers was throwing at 90 feet already. They said he's ahead of schedule. But my thing is, don't rush McCullers.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, we've been on that road long enough.
He's just. I love
I like McCullers a lot, but
I love his attitude. Bury him in the H. I'm all about that. But gosh, if he could just stay healthy.
dude's got a filthy curve.
He does. Ask Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
Dodgers fans. I keep throwing that out there. I mean, the Dodgers are great when it's a 60-win season. I mean, 60-game season. They can win a title.
Did good. They did good in the 2020.
They like to remind you every year that we cheated.
Exactly. Well,
what are your thoughts on all that, man? That was a crazy time. I mean,
so
getting booed, even last year getting booed in every stadium.
Well, I remember when it first came out, I didn't believe it, and I don't think anybody really believed it. Then Tony Adams, a guy in Houston that the retired guy that did all the research of all the bangs and stuff. Because like I said, I interviewed John Boy before I got with Locked On Astros. I've actually had him on. We've had him on Locked On, I think, once or twice. And man, people were like, "Why didn't you give him more help? Why didn't you?" I'm like, "Because I'm a professional. I don't like ask you on my podcast and treat you like a jerk."
Yeah.
But the more that I've learned about that era, I just say, why did they do that? Why did they do what they did with the team that they had?
Yeah, they're stacked.
Yeah.
Because, look, 17, and I'm not like this, because we have the Hurricane, we deserve a world title. But that Hurricane produced for us as a city and as a community.
That brought people together.
A team that put us on their back.
Yeah.
And even during the World Series or during the playoffs, other teams were actually willing to come out and help the Astros. I think when the Mets were in town at one point, they went out and did community work. And so
that's cool.
It was a really neat thing. So I think that's why 17 for me is personal, because it was our first title. And if you look into the research, it was a zero-sum game, because I think they were 10 and 11 where there were trash can bangs. And they're actually, I think their road batting average was actually higher than the regular
significantly
season.
higher.
They had better.
So say what you want, because this is my problem. When it just becomes about the Astros and only because they won the title, and you negate and say you're okay with everybody else cheating, don't give me the false outrage. The Astros ruined baseball.
Yes.
No, the White Sox started that in 1908. It was over 100 years in the past.
So no, Rob Manfred ruined baseball.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Boston get in trouble for the same thing that year?
Boston,
Joe Cora.
In
the
New York?
Yankees. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the next year, look, here's the magic formula: beat Boston, beat New York, beat LA. You're going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
And I think if the Astros had lost, I don't think you hear the outcry.
I think.
We didn't get to boo him in 2020. What is wrong with our society? I didn't get to tell you my disdain for you.
I know.
I'm sorry, Karen. I didn't ask your opinion.
Yeah.
They're baseball Karens, basically.
Yeah.
No offense. If you're a baseball Karen, I'm sorry. But, if you're literally buying tickets to go boo a team,
Yeah, it's sad.
you've got to find something else.
That's just as bad as being a troll on the internet. I mean, it's
yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of energy to waste.
exactly. And I responded one time to a negative comment. I actually did the whole Instagram where it was behind me, but I turned it into a positive. And I had a friend from high school randomly text me. He's like, "Dude, we need to talk now." And I'm like, "Okay." So I call him. I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "If I ever see that crap again," I was like, "What?" I was like, "What? You don't ever make excuses." Or he goes, Don't highlight the negative. I go, "What are you talking about?" "I saw that bull crap on Instagram." He was like, "You totally gave that person what they wanted." And he was basically encouraging me, dude, people are listening. People are listening and are actually commenting. So they're actually giving you views, and they're actually promoting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, let them promote you. Even if it's bad, who cares what they
Yeah,
say?
hey, man.
Yep.
So now I'm just ooh, that's brutal, but bring it. Come
Yeah.
on. I always say
No,
thank you.
I love the people that used to they give me shit.
You find it's funny that the people that are they trolling maybe or say stupid things, they're there every week.
They are
It's
there.
thank you for being there every week to listen and to troll while we make money.
So I had this guy, second game of the season, or third game. I said something about how Dusty had put two lefties up. For whatever reason, I said Yonder Diaz was a lefty. Didn't even realize it. There's this one dude on Twitter that he will comment maybe every 20th show, and it's always something he hears wrong. So I'm like, "Hey, thanks. I I appreciate it. I can always count on you. And then he goes, well, if I was putting a message out to thousands of people daily, I would want someone to tell me when I messed up. And I'm like, yeah, I think a DM would be a little bit better way to approach this, but you do you. But I was like, so I actually went back and I scrubbed that from the audio. I mean, it's on the internet. You can see it on YouTube, but you're going to do that when we've got 1,000 shows under our belt. I mean, if I went back and logged all the mistakes I made, come on, dude, like
you're going to make them.
Like, I was like, look, I appreciate it, but like, there's more constructive ways than to blast me on the freaking TL, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah. Just in 32 episodes, 37 episodes we've had, I said Seal's face was messed up from a fire. It's not. It's actually from lupus.
Oh my God.
I was wrong.
We had all kinds of people tell us he was wrong.
I mean, I was wrong. But you know what I learned? I was redirected.
Wait, hold on. Was there a story? Did you have like he saved somebody from the...
I don't, there wasn't a story.
I think it was a grease fire.
I don't even remember what the context. I don't remember what the context was. But Seal had lupus. Okay, and I'm sorry for that.
Wow, man.
Oh god.
This canceled moment brought to you by.
So what have you? So what's your typical runtime for your episodes?
So we try to go 30 minutes.
Okay.
It's
just like a quick high level recap of the game.
Yeah, it is really like after games, it's recap. If it's in between games, we talk about who, matchups coming up, pitchers versus hitters. If there's any new Astros news, if there's any we don't get a ton of minor league stuff on our show, but if there's something significant happening, we will highlight that.
Do you get any insider info, or that's just you got to pull data from the internet?
So I actually pulled data from MLB. I have access to MLB Press Box, so I get the Press Box notes.
Okay,
and I'll share those on the air. Sometimes I'll tweet them out. Sometimes I try to tweet them out before the beat writers to see if they catch it. And like some days I'll just pump them out there and they'll be like, I don't think tags or anybody's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm pretty much just a podcaster. Okay. I've been kind of put in my place. Like, you're a podcaster. You're not media.
Right.
So whatever. I'm a teacher by day and I rock
whatever
the mic
podcast, Karen.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But so I do talk to people from time to time who know things, but if I ever find information out that's not necessarily public information, I don't share it, because I have people from time to time that will share stuff with me in confidence just so I can know the situation. Mm-hmm. But I've never been in that kind of situation where, per the Astros or per sources, I'm not like a Jeff Passan or, Chandler Roman, these guys, McTaggart, they hear stuff. I mean, they've got agents' numbers. They talk to them. That's not really our place. Our place is to be your local expert. So instead of going and reading the Athletic article, instead of going and reading McTaggart's article and Rome's article, and McTaggart and Rome put out great articles, so I'm not slamming the articles, but instead of having to go do all that stuff, you can come to our show in 30 minutes and get all the pertinent information. And we try to hit all the important stuff. We don't always get everything, but it's a limited time. They really want to stay with that time frame, and it's tough. Like tonight's show, we have 3 live reads. So now my show time is really reduced to really 22 minutes. So now I've got to be real precise.
So who are your sponsors right now?
Right now, we just brought on eBay. eBay Motors is a national sponsor. There's another one. You would quiz me on this. We do Built Bar like every day. We talk about
Those
Built
are good.
Bars. Yeah,
I actually like
bars
their,
are good.
I actually like their bars.
So we do Built Bar. We do Game Time. I just use the discount code. Locked on MLB. Got $20 off. Took my son to the Final Four semifinal game. Surprised him the other day.
Man.
That was cool.
How old's your son?
He's 14.
Okay.
He plays basketball, and he had played 2 games, and he had just got out of the shower, and I just decided, I was like, I'm going to take him to the Final Four. And I said, you can't go to the Final Four in your plaid pajama pants. He goes, what? I go, get your Jordans on. Let's go. He goes, where are we going? I said, we're going to NRG to watch the basketball games. Really? He goes, it just started. I'm like, we'll get there by halftime. So we got to see the buzzer beater in the first
that's
game,
awesome.
and we saw Miami.
Oh,
It was
that's
my
the San
favorite-
Diego State game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Miami got trounced by the eventual champion UConn. But, you know, to get back to what you're saying, sponsors, what's cool is we get local sponsors too. So right now I'm working on some pretty cool local sponsors. We've been sponsored by Hooters. We've been sponsored by
Hooters.
Belching Beaver. We've been
the restaurant.
sponsored by, We've been sponsored by Simple Seats.
Yep.
Who-
I refer to a lot of people. I use those for most. If I've got to buy tickets, I'll use Simple Seats.
So, but
For local stuff.
So I found out though, Simple Seats is I think it's kind of going away.
Really?
Because I try to reach out for them for a second sponsorship, but right now I'm working on the most famous Houston craft brewery in Carbach.
Nice.
We're trying to work out a deal with them, and
We got to get there first. No, I'm kidding.
well, I'll tell them, do not talk to these guys. They
Yeah.
have the same name in the podcast.
Yeah, they do.
Dale, not Dale. And I don't get it because one of them's named Vaughn. I
Yeah.
couldn't explain that one to
Yeah,
Jake.
man. Just
I love the Dale, not Dale, because honestly, at first I was like, Dale, not Dale. But his name's Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh, not Dale.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you did there.
yeah. There's a long story to it. I was tired of being called Dale, so I'm like, I just tell everybody I'm not Dale because
Yeah.
you know
we resembled each other. People, they're like, that's how we met through some mutual
Yeah.
friends. It was like, man, y'all resemble each other.
Okay.
And so that was kind of the thing. People would.
kind of look alike, but I
You
work
do?
out. Yeah, I mean, you know, things like that.
He swole.
Exactly.
Look, even Magnus shaking his head.
Well, it's like, you know, I told people growing up, I wanted to be 6'5", 250. I got to 6 foot. I didn't get to the 6'5", but I got to the 250.
There you
So,
go. Look, sometimes
Hey,
you got to
man.
meet one goal.
Silver lining.
That's right. This
Yeah.
glass half
So
full.
you're by day you're a teacher.
Yes.
How long
Yes.
have you been teaching?
This is I think my 15th year teaching in the classroom.
Okay.
So
What
I
do you
was
teach history.
I teach Texas history. This
Oh,
is my
Texas.
10th year teaching Texas history. Yes.
So I'm from Louisiana, so I need to probably get schooled on some Texas history.
Well, let me tell you, Texas history is American history. So if you love America, you love Texas.
Yep.
Vice versa.
Hell
So
yeah.
Yeah,
I consider myself a Texan American.
There you
So,
go.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, when I was young and I was taking Texas history, so I went
Was
to
he your teacher?
Oh no,
Yeah, I'm not that old, bro. Come on. Jeez Louise.
I went to college. I went to college at Oklahoma State, so my life was in Texas. I didn't think anything outside the box.
Right.
It wasn't until I got to college.
He thought Oklahoma State was in Texas.
Pretty much. No, it wasn't until I got to college when I realized, oh my gosh, Texas history is only taught in Texas.
It is. So like when I went to Louisiana, I actually taught there for like a year.
I'm from Louisiana.
So I was like, do y'all have like Louisiana history? They're like,
We do.
well, they were like, we learned about gumbo in 4th grade. I'm like, what?
No, Louisiana history.
I'm not even lying.
Louisiana history was 8th grade. That was my favorite class.
Okay.
We had a guy, and if you got in trouble there, you had to write declaration. I wrote the Declaration of Independence like 6 times in my 8th grade year.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it sucks.
Does it talk about Napoleon in there and stuff like that?
I don't remember. I just freaking just rewriting it.
You're like,
mean,
Cafe du Monde, is that like...
I could see like Louisiana history like that being fulfilled. What if you live in North Dakota? I mean, how much history's happened in North
Oh,
Dakota?
man.
I mean, it would be Indian American, or
You would have a lot of probably really cool like Plains Indian stories. I don't know. I don't know if there's. I mean, I know there's a ton of legend in Texas about that. I mean,
yeah,
you know, but a little fun fact here. When Sam Houston and the Texas Army stormed the battlefield at San Jacinto and Santa Anna surrendered, Sam Houston did want Santa Anna to go back to Mexico and say Texas is independent, but the real reason why he didn't kill Santa Anna is they were both Masons.
Oh, really?
Yep.
They
did not know that.
they did the handshake.
It's against Masonic order. You can't kill another Mason. It's like you're in a fraternity.
like-
Now, they were both in different arms. Like there's a Scottish arm and something. Like I don't know much about it, but they were still both Masons. And so, yeah,
So it saved his life.
that saved his life. But I mean, you know, gosh, Santa Anna was a mess. His most famous quote was, "If I were God, I would wish to be more."
Wow.
I
This
love
cocky
that.
bastard.
I mean, really and truly,
Cocky bastard.
that guy's got gold.
Vaughn sings
Yeah.
that song by who was
Alanis Morissette?
No.
No,
that? Jewel? Was it Jewel?
no, it was golly.
Joan.
Joan Osborne.
John Osborne, he sings "What If Vaughn Was One of Us." That
What?
I think it's beautiful.
What if?
What if Vaughn was one of us? And everybody like looks at you'd think most
Just
people
a
look
slob like all of us.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
Yeah.
the perfect. He always forgets that next lyric, but
here's the thing. Everybody doesn't look at me and start laughing when I sing that. They're like, you know, he's right. What if Vaughn really was one of us? A slob like one of us. Luckily he's not.
So, are you real OCD about stuff?
No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
No. Yes.
he is. He's very particular. He don't like noise or kids
Noise.
or weights.
Or weights?
Yeah, he don't like to wait.
What? Yeah. I mean, I don't like weights as in real weight. And I
Oh,
also
that-
don't
yeah.
like wait to wait in line.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me neither.
My brain's always 1,000 miles
So
an hour.
are you like it? So are you like it? If you take everybody to Disney, you're like, we are getting fast passes for everything.
We would get fast passes for everything. As a matter of fact, if I had to go to that godforsaken place again, I would actually have a chauffeur and forget the fast passes. I want to go in the handicap spot so that I can cut in front of everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that place is.
You would have like a medical card.
I would,
So
You can't use the one for the ferry, dude. It's not the same.
dude, I will.
yeah. Yeah. It's we went. Oh gosh, it was 2016, 2017, I think, when we went to Disney. And I used to go a lot growing up because I'm originally from Florida. So we'd go back and visit family. And so every summer we'd go to Disney. That was kind of just a thing. Now that's not a thing because it's so expensive now. Even for Florida residents, the price is through the roof.
It's predatory. I mean, it's
But
crazy.
it is like, it's just, there's so many people.
Yeah.
They're like, ride, 6-hour wait. I'm like,
There's no way.
what? That's half my day
Yeah.
to ride one ride.
That's dumb.
My biggest complaint about we could go off on this so long.
Part 3.
My biggest complaint with Disney and the attraction of it is the predatory price practice. Can't stand it.
Okay.
Number 2, which is probably even more important than number 1, is there are 100,000 parents, and only about 20,000 of them parent. They let their kids run
yes.
around, and they let their
Let the kids have fun, dude.
No, not at my expense. Not at my family's
But
expense.
see, that's when Winnie the Pooh needs to step it up and be like, listen, like he needs to talk to him. Like that's what you do, just have the characters start talking, freak the kids out. So I have a friend, his nephew went to Disney. He was there, it was like his brother, his sister, his nephew was 9. And his nephew started tugging at his dad's shirt and he goes, Dad, look who it is. And he looked over, it was The Rock.
Oh, no shit.
And he was like, go talk to him. It was his favorite wrestler. And he said he walked up to him and he tugged on his shirt and he turned around and he looked at the kid and he goes, hey, what's your name? And he started to say his name and he goes, it doesn't matter what your name is. And The Rock, they said he dropped on the ground laughing and stuff. And so they got to talk to him and he said, you would be, because he was like, I bet you get bugged all the time. He goes, no.
People are scared.
He goes, people are scared of me.
Yeah.
They
He's-
think I'm
he's
like
a
this
monster,
mean
dude. He's huge.
guy, right? He goes, I'm like the nicest dude in the world.
He seems like a super genuine guy. I follow him on
does.
social
But
media.
he said the fact that this 9-year-old had no clue.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like, did he add the candy ass part?
Yeah, jabroni.
Yeah.
Dude, I love The Rock. Dude, I used to be, man, that was like, my high school years was like the best time of wrestling, too. I was big into it. Me and my buddies.
Never got into it.
Oh, dude.
So when I was growing up, we had American Gladiator.
Oh,
And we would set
I
up
love
American
that.
Gladiator in, we had Nerf guns and we would set up targets. We had a friend that had a spiral staircase and
The blaster.
Oh, yeah.
I might be, I've got a connection to
Uh-oh.
Michael Hearn. Oh, the Titan, remember that?
Yeah.
So to get on the podcast. So I'm hoping we'll get
is he
him.
coming here? Like
No, I wish. I don't know if he's in Texas or not, but dude, that'd be awesome. 'Cause I just
Dude.
want to see how big that son of a bitch is in person.
Oh, because how old is he now?
He's probably 50. He's
Okay.
like, he says he's all natural.
Hey.
He goes by all natty, but dude, he is a freak, dude. He is.
Dude,
He's still an animal.
Dude, guys that are buff like that and natural, that takes incredible dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and good
you know,
drugs.
yeah.
We just need to get rid of the natural thing. No, nobody's natural anymore these days.
I mean, you saw me when I walked in. You're like,
You're
good
natural.
God, this guy's built
I was
like,
like, dude.
like the Rock of Gibraltar.
I
Right?
was like, what is he on?
I thought you were. I thought you were Jerome Bettis when you walked in. the
Nothing ho-hos and Diet Coke can't cure, baby.
The huge. You swole and
Man,
low to
I
the
know.
ground.
I was swollen the wrong. See, I'm not in basketball shape. I'm in the shape of a basketball right now.
There
But I
you
have
go.
currently lost 12 pounds.
Nice.
Good job.
So I'm working my way down to my pre-33 weight. That's what I call it. I want to be like I was when I want to be 31 again.
Yeah.
That's just the age I picked.
Good age.
31 was a.
31 was a good year. I don't remember what happened, but it was apparently good because I was at a good weight. You know, I was
You were
in
teaching
shape.
then?
No, I was a youth pastor then.
We
Youth
get a
pastor.
lot of youth pastors.
Dude,
So-
I was a youth pastor in my former life.
So our sponsor, our main sponsor for the show, Good Ranchers,
Yeah.
Ben and Jermaine. Well, Ben was a worship pastor
Okay.
for Grace Church, that huge mega
Yeah.
church off
okay.
45.
Yeah.
So
And hey,
that
Good
was his
Ranchers,
background.
speaking of that, when I was listening to one of y'all's episodes, I was like, hey, I eat Good Ranchers. That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
And y'all didn't pay me to say that. I mean, I was planning on saying that before I even came in here. Didn't even tell you.
And as a reward, we're going to give you a code to get $20 off your next order.
Nice. Oh, I thought you were
free
going to give me
bacon.
some free chicken or something, man.
Actually, we'll talk. I've got some stuff for you.
Okay.
Dude, their food's been really good. But yeah, he came from that world.
That's cool.
So it's just there's a lot of that. He was just on the Brad Lee show and it was funny. I don't know if
But, teaching and being a youth pastor are two completely different worlds.
I bet.
It's
We could go down a psychopathic hole right now.
You can actually cuss being youth pastor. You can't cuss at church at school.
Yeah.
well, I don't know. Have you met the youth pastors? Have you met the youth pastors that I've been around? Some of those guys do cuss.
So what is the Vaughn's been wanting to have a teacher on. You're kind of a double whammy for us.
Okay.
But there's so many questions it would just elongate everything. My thing is I want to see the evolution of the child that we've had from the 90s to the 2000s to the 2020s.
You wanted to bring one?
This is where Magnus cuts it to the next episode.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. Yeah. So I want to have somebody on there to talk me through that. I could not imagine being a teacher right now.
So I can tell you like
Just
yeah. Go ahead.
real quick.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, post-COVID, what's the biggest
Well,
hurdles?
and when I say this because I don't know every kid's situation and every parent's situation.
Yeah.
We can generalize.
But I don't know what a lot of parents were doing in that time. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I also don't know what stress they were under either.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there was a whole lot of structure at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the kids that I have now, you can tell they missed out on 2 years of that socialization of the school routine.
It's just structure. Yeah.
The structure.
Yeah.
I mean, look, what I've learned, because I have, when I was in the ministry, I've been to developing countries. I've been to prisons. I've worked with gang members. I've worked with men in prison. I've worked with the richest kids, the poorest kids. They all desire the same two things: structure and love. Mm-hmm. They want you to know. They want to know that you love them. They want you to give them structure. And we're seeing the results of kids not having structure for 2 years, and they're developmentally behind.
Okay.
They act a lot more immature than they typically do.
Really?
At this age. And
Yeah.
I teach 12 and 13-year-olds right now, 7th grade.
Ugh,
And so
that's my daughter's in 7th grade.
it's been tough. Pre-COVID, I really hit my stride. I really, I've got a lot of students. I actually had a student that I saw was graduating from the high school from Pearland. She was a hostess at a restaurant we were at, and she goes, "Coach Chancey." I was like, "Hey." So we started talking, like, "Hey, Bella." We started talking. "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm about to go to Sam Houston State, and I'm going to major in criminology, and I want to go into FBI." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "What made you go into that?" She goes, "Well, in 7th grade, I was in your Texas history class, and we learned about government and civics and being a responsible citizen. It made me start thinking about what could I do to make a difference." I was like, "Hold on, like I inspired you to do that?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Yeah," and I was like, "Wow, like that really meant a lot." Because I don't go to the classroom going, "I'm going to change all these kids' lives." I want to be genuine. I want to present the information in a way that's palatable to the child, and hopefully I make a connection with them where they do become better citizens, you know, once they come to my classroom. And that was very rewarding. And now it's a struggle because kids just aren't following the basic, you know, student-teacher relationship, respect, completing your work, bringing your supply. I mean, just the simple things that you and I, and probably the people listening as children, did, students don't do anymore. Right. So we're having to teach kids to do stuff that they should have learned when they were 6 and 7 years old.
In general, do you think electronics for American kids has helped or hurt them?
Yeah, not to be political, but why do you think China limits the only thing that kids in China can see on TikTok are
educational,
people being successful, and here they show us all the crap.
Yeah,
that's good stuff, though.
You know, and it is so entertaining. God,
yeah,
I'm like, man, I love watching dumb people make mistakes, but I think that technology. All you have to do is you basically go study what the CEOs of the tech companies, what kind of schools they're putting their kids in. They're putting their kids in schools that have no technology, that they're writing, that they're typing, they're doing all this. I mean, they're using their hands.
Yeah.
And technology is a necessary evil, but I think it's overused.
Oh yeah.
I think the overuse is what hurts the brain development.
Yeah, because you don't have to think for yourself anymore. I mean, I don't think. I mean, I got a calculator in my hand if I need to do something easy or whatever. You know, you Google. You got a lot of information in your hand, but if you don't use it the right way, it can be detrimental to you.
Yeah, it can be good, it can be bad, but I think it's over. I think it's leaned on
Anything
too much. I think it's a crutch.
Is bad for you. That's just
right.
What it is.
It's an extra parent. You know, I mean, literally, there is, and I don't even know what this is called, but there is a Twitter handle that is an AI Twitter handle. You can become friends with this AI, and you can talk to it. You can call it, and it will have a conversation with you.
I would love that.
And it's so like I was randomly asking it questions before I came over here, and I was like, so is AI just going to take over the world? No, we would like to think that we are here just to help people get through everyday life. And
Stuart.
I'm asking it questions. Are you tied to Russia?
Yeah. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing right now?
Where would you like me to begin?
Second date. Go.
So so you're a coach. You said coach. So you coach as well, or used to?
Yeah. Now I'm not. So I'm kind of pseudo coaching my son's on an AAU basketball team, and our coach, bless his heart, we got so many kids this year that he can't split himself between all the teams. So I've been doing a lot of coaching of our freshman team. We got a real good freshman team. We're trying to prepare to take the boys to nationals for the first time. I also coach girls basketball and volleyball when I do coach in school. I'm not coaching this year. I'm telling you, 7th grade girls basketball is the funnest sport to coach in the world.
Okay, so we're part of a Bayside, Clear Falls, ISD, and our 7th grade girls are ballers. They went undefeated, won the district. We won the district by like 40-something points. They were like beating people 60-3. They would play teams in the first quarter. They wouldn't even get past the half court. Like they would trap them. They had to stop trapping after so long. Full court press. They couldn't do. It'd be 40-2 in the first quarter.
I was the coach.
Wow.
No, he wasn't. But these girls are ballers, dude. So my daughter plays 7th grade volleyball on the A team. So that was fun. Like, dude, that's just some exciting gameplay.
So if I could, I know we've been going for a while, but I got a little story with that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I had a 7th grade B team one year, and our first 4 games we only gave up 8 points. Now we didn't score a ton, but man, we had hella defense. Like it was amazing. We go to our 5th game of the year. We're playing Bonnet Junior High, which is a Deer Park school, and at halftime we're down 9-2, and I'm furious. I'm like, we just gave up 9 points in one half. We gave up 8 points in the previous 4 games. So I stand over there. I'm fuming, and the girls are like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "You tell me what's wrong. Look at that scoreboard. I can't even look at it." I'm like, "How many points do they have?" They're like 9. I said, "How many points do we have?" 2. I said, "Let me tell you something. We don't play Bonnet because it's easy. We play Bonnet because it's hard. And we don't come out here every day and bust our tail ends to come out here and get our tail ends whooped. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and you're going to score 10 points before they do. Because if you don't, you're going to go home and you're going to pray. And you're going to ask God to remove your legs. Because if you have legs in the morning, you're going to run so much. You're going to run so much that your grandchildren will hear about the amount of running you did. So who was going to score 10 first? We are. We went out and beat them 27-9.
That was your last coaching job too, right?
No.
He's since
It worked. It worked.
He's since been
Oh,
canceled.
man.
Pray to God.
Oh my gosh. And every shot that went up and almost went in, I was like, I'm going to have to eat my words. We are going to have to run a lot tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was probably going to lose my job with the amount of running we did, but it worked. Now, I've been on the other end of that where it didn't work, but man, it felt good. I mean, we were like, we crushed them, coach. I'm like,
Everybody, yeah, that's a big team win.
So that was fun. That was fun. I pull out JFK. We don't play Bonnet because it's easy. We play Bonnet because it's hard. You know, had nothing to do with going to the moon. You know, Neil Armstrong wasn't making a speech, but yeah. So I treat every team and everything that I do with my all. I'm passionate about what I do, no matter what it is. And so I know one way to coach. That's fifth gear. I fight for my kids. I don't argue with refs, but they know me. And I make my presence known, and I do.
Just don't wear,
it
just
to
wear your
advocate
hat
for
back
my
so you don't
players.
knock it off and get ejected.
Yeah. You know, in baseball, I might get ejected. But
So what's on the horizon for Locked On? And then you sent me an image earlier.
yeah,
What's that about?
so this summer, I'm going to delve into a little side podcast.
Okay.
Since I'm HTown Wheelhouse, I'm going to create a podcast called Beyond the Wheelhouse. And right now I'm in the planning, like vision boarding stages of it, really trying to figure out what I want to do. I just want to do once a week, though. I can't do 2 daily podcasts.
I don't get
I'll
how
die.
you can do it every day.
I don't either. I don't either.
That's
Ask.
a lot.
It is tough. So what we have this year is we are going to be doing several live events. We talked to Home Run Dugout out in Katy.
I want to go check that place out.
We'll be doing. And, hey, when we go out there, we'll invite you
Let
guys.
us know, man.
Dude,
yeah.
I'd love to go. I see it on TikTok.
We could bring our 2 boys. That'd be fun.
Cool. And I may hit you up with the equipment, too, because the guy we used to use doesn't do it anymore. So,
Really?
I mean, I've got a couple mics and a small board, but you guys got cooler mics. Anyways.
Yeah, we got to set up for got to set up for 4 people.
Sweet. So we would have you guys on. That would be like, you know, we give you little vittles and give you some free beer
Yep. There
for
you go.
you.
Yeah.
Some free Sprite Zero.
I could
don't
do
know.
like Diet Coke.
Okay.
Water.
No, don't.
Okay.
He don't do a little Diet Coke. He excessively drinks Diet Coke.
Okay. So
no,
don't
Zero or Diet Coke.
diet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
gross.
it's not excessively.
Okay.
It's excessive.
It's not.
And that stuff bad for you, like saccharin or
Dude.
something?
Yeah, you know what?
He drinks a lot of.
I
Next-
hate-
He might as well start
See, I
drinking
love
alcohol.
Zero. I
Next
don't like
episode.
diet. Next episode.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, anyways, to wrap it up, I basically, literally, post-game stuff, we're going to try to get some players on through the year. I literally reach out to players by myself. And, you know, I get most of our guests on. We'll have Robert Flores. I'm trying to get him back on from MLB Network. So we'll have some cool guests. And hopefully our goal is to hit 3 million downloads this year. Last year we had 1.3 million. And the sky's the limit for our podcast this year.
That just
So,
for yours?
for Locked On Astros.
Oh,
Yeah, we were
that's
the
awesome,
second. I think we were the second, we were second or third. It was us, Dodgers, and Mets are top 3, and so I want to be number 1.
We're top 10 in Taiwan.
Hey, dude, that's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, the lady boys love us.
And they're getting all mad. We're like, they're getting all mad. We're like, fuck it.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Hangover 2 is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I love it.
Bangkok got him.
hey man, you know, hey, anywhere you can get listeners. I mean, seriously, I love it. I mean, hopefully we'll get more players on. Hopefully get Stanek back on. We've had Stanek on a couple times.
Yeah.
That dude's cool on the other side of the pillow. Baseball Jesus, I love him.
Well, when you start your other one, I'll I'll see if I can get Jeff Darlington for you.
Yeah,
He's
no,
an
I
ESPN
mean,
guy.
no.
He's cool, man.
And when I do that, I'll bring you guys on because it'll be beyond the wheelhouse. So it'll be about just like baseball in general, not just the Astros. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like I said, yeah, I mean, we love the Astros. It's crazy. I grew up the biggest Braves fan from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Love the
Oh,
Braves.
yeah. That makes sense.
We came here every time the Braves and Astros played. My dream as a kid was for them to play in the World Series, which wouldn't have happened until they switched to the
now,
AL
were
West.
you at the 18-inning game?
No,
when
no,
we beat
no,
the
no.
Braves? Okay.
I wasn't, but like I said, my best friend was an Astros fan. I was a Braves fan, so we always came. And then when we moved here, I mean, Astros were good, but my son liked them, so we became.
There you go.
We were Astros fans. They're fun to watch. I love them. Then that year when the Astros and Braves played World Series was like.
Oh,
I was
man.
at the game. I was at the closeout game when the Astros won it. I was at that game, like 6 rows up right field behind Tucker. I mean, we had great seats,
Wow.
and it's kind of bittersweet. You know, it's cool to see the Astros won it. I mean, it's cool to see the Braves win it in person. Right. It sucked how it happened, but it was like either way, I was happy. For me as a kid, it was a great experience.
See, we were at game 2. My son and I. Eric went to game 6. He was like, that game sucked. That was terrible. I'm like, you should have gone to game 2 with us.
That's whenever, what's his name? Hit that freaking home run that was still traveling.
Oh, yeah. So that home run landed right by my friend. My friend lives in those apartments, Paul. And that ball landed. He was at the game.
Dude.
His neighbor up top got it. He's the guy that got like $70,000 for the ball.
Ripped that ball.
Yeah.
God. I was getting up getting food, and I heard it hit. You could hear it. It was so loud.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me
He went to the Marlins right after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's been fun being an Astros fan. I'm sure you've like I said, you've had to definitely the last 4 years been.
It is a great
good time to be Astros aficionado.
It is, yeah, and I love it because I also do stuff for 103.7 The Game in Louisiana every Tuesday morning. I'm on there with RP3. And I also write some articles for them, so that's cool.
Have you met Mattress Mac yet?
I have met Mattress Mac. I was actually invited to his birthday.
Really?
Yeah. I was on the list.
Nice.
You didn't go?
I did go.
Oh,
I hung out with them, like me and Mac, and like 20 cakes, like 20 massive.
Where
cakes.
was his birthday party?
It was at Gallery Furniture.
Of course it was.
Because he never.
You don't leave.
He's never not working.
I mean,
He's like literally, he's talking mid conversation. Okay, yeah, you can do that. He's like, oh, he wants us credit. Yeah, go ahead and give it to him. Like, he's approving credit deals. This guy didn't have God. That's okay, just give it to him. Like,
Give it to him.
just give it to him.
man, that's crazy. He really does love his job.
He does.
And he answers the phone when you call up.
He
there.
gave me his business card and I haven't hit him up yet for sponsorship, but he's like, call me, and his business card says, you can never bother me.
Dude, let's try.
Call
it.
anytime.
I think we should put that to the test.
Let's call him right now.
Oh, I do have it actually. Interesting. I wonder if he would answer.
There's only one way to find out.
We can do it live.
I hope we're not bothering you. See what he says.
Are we bothering you? What?
Yes.
Mac, we're on a live,
Mac,
podcast here.
Mac, where's my recliner?
Yeah, Mac, don't worry about the furniture. We need the funds.
That's right.
Dude, that guy's he's an HTown legend for sure.
Yeah,
He is.
Well, so I guess before we close out, who's been the coolest person you met from your gig that you like came across that you're like, oh my god, that was pretty cool.
It would probably have to. I mean, I guess you got to automatically go to the major league players. Getting to meet Ryan Stanek, getting to talk to him. Jake Myers, Lance McCullers Jr. But I guess someone like Robert Flores, because he's up in New York. He's from Houston, but he's just such a big baseball voice. On MLB Network, a lot of people respect him. And it's not just meeting the actual players, but I've gotten to meet Justin Verlander's parents through like Ben Verlander. I've gotten to meet Jim. I got to meet Jim Crane, talk about my podcast. So just everybody that I can connect myself with in the Major League Baseball world. Jim Callis from MLB, and so all these guys, like I value each one of their opinions. But kind of the coolest thing is Charlie Palillo. I've never met him until opening day. And I got to just pick his brain because to me he's like a radio god. This guy is such a great commentator, and he's not really appreciated by the younger listening audience. But Charlie Palillo, man, I was like, what do you do in this situation? I was like asking him advice, and so it's just neat to anybody that's ever played. I'm just in awe of wow, like you.
Well, they're the 1%ers, man. There's no doubt.
It is. We got to hold the flag at opening day.
Yeah, I seen you on Twitter. You posted a picture. You circled you. That was you.
I was like, that was me. And let me tell you, I walked down on that field with that flag on my shoulder, and I was like, how did these guys do this? You look up and there's 40,000 people, and you feel like you're in a Greek. You're like in this Roman Colosseum. I'm like, I don't think I'm ever booing another player again. Like I have so much respect now for professional athletes, because
different
looking
level,
on the field,
yeah.
They don't. But oh my gosh, it
looks massive.
It is unreal. Like I had goosebumps the entire time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
that'd be awesome.
Dude, I think I'm gonna try out for the Astros.
I think you should.
You should. Hey, I mean,
Magnus was like, no.
I think I got a shot.
Dude, you couldn't be a ball boy.
They
Well-
don't have ball boys.
Yeah, they do.
no. Well, they have bat boys, but now Major League Baseball grades them. Did you know that?
F.
In what? Like an A?
If they're not getting the equipment fast enough, they can ask the club to fire them because of the pitch clock.
Oh, shit.
Because it can slow the game
Yeah,
down.
I don't want to work under pressure. Yeah,
He didn't do well in adversity.
no, I don't like when people tell me what to do.
You could be one of the raking guys, like during the 7th inning. Yeah,
Ooh, I've got allergies.
He don't like his shoes get dirty.
Yeah, my shoes.
man, you are high maintenance.
Allergies. There's a lot.
So, Brett, how can everybody, that know you, how can everybody find you?
So they can find me at HTown Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram. I'm kind of in and off TikTok. TikTok would be more Locked on Astros, but you can find me at Locked on Astros on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked on Astros.
I'm gonna do it tonight for more. So if you see one come from our, you can hook us up. We're trying to get our followers up on YouTube.
No, yeah, definitely. There if you're driving into work, Apple, Google, or Spotify,
Yeah.
just literally type in Locked on Astros, and if you have a team that's not the Astros, look up your team. Locked On probably has a show for them.
Yeah, that's what the first time I looked you up. Man, it's been a while. I just typed in Locked In on thinking that was just y'all's podcast.
Right. And
All
then
these, that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, they're a part of like a franchise deal, which is cool. I mean, it's pretty neat. You can go to that. I went to their website, and man, there's a lot of information on their website. That's why I seen the thing being out of Utah and stuff like that.
And my son and I got to meet David Locke, the owner, because he is the voice of the Utah Jazz. So when they were in town playing the Rockets, I was like, hey, we've got to meet, because like the last couple times I'd missed him. And so he invited us up to the media area, and I introduced him to my son, and he's telling my son, watch our off-ball movement, talking to him about basketball. That was really cool. So David Locke's a humble guy. He's Locked On's a great network to work for.
Well, that's cool, man.
I'm blessed.
That's awesome.
Well, good. We'll keep a lookout. Let us know when you get your new one started as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And, how we can get involved, and like I said, man, we all keep networking, man, and keep in touch like we've been doing, and appreciate you coming out here and getting on here for
Absolutely, man.
No, definitely, and I appreciate it. And if anybody out there listening, if you love baseball, come check us out. I think you'll enjoy our show.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of our friends that are big. Like, we're big Astros
Yeah.
fans. We'll watch the games together. We'll do stuff. So we'll definitely. I think some of our friends that are fans that probably start listening to podcasts maybe because of us, because some
There you
don't.
go.
I do. That'd be one for check out the Astros one. There's a lot of Houston and surrounding area people that listen to our podcast as well.
Very
So
cool.
Hopefully they'll check you out, man. But so we've been having a lot of support from our fan base, so we should go check you out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. But yeah, once again, thank you
Yeah,
again
man.
for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and definitely have to have you guys on our show as well. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, we would have a blast. We would go on any show we can.
Yeah, dude, we'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, we'll talk
Nice.
to anybody. I like to hear myself.
I hear you.
What if Vaughn was one of us?
Yeah, what if?
So do you play back the episodes and fast forward through him so you
Yes.
can listen to yourself?
You know, honestly, I'm not vain. Dale does that.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes I rewind to make sure that I said something correctly.
There you go.
He fact checks himself.
Yeah. I mean, so I've only been wrong once, and that was, because of Seal.
Yeah, because of Seal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wish there was a story like that you added to it.
That damn Seal.
Yeah,
He didn't-
honestly, I just don't remember what it was. There was something of like,
Why were we talking about Seal anyway?
I think we were talking about music, or I don't know. I
No,
don't remember.
I talked about my friend meeting Seal at his
That's what it was.
sister-in-law's wedding in London.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I said he got burned
Wow.
in a house fire. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind. I mean, they come to find out, lupus. Who would have thunk?
So if you ever meet Seal,
Yeah.
you have to go all in on that burnt face story.
Oh,
You
no,
have to.
I am. I'm going to
Have
ask
to
him if he'll
say-
watch Face Off with me.
I DM him every day.
I mean, is that bad? That wasn't bad, was it? No, I don't think that was bad.
Seal is very beloved, dude.
I know.
He is.
So
I mean, because we're all getting a little crazy, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I just watched a movie. He sang that on there.
Dude, I love Seal.
Oh, the new movie with Kevin Hart and Wahlberg on Netflix.
Okay.
He was
there
on
you go.
there. Yep.
Dude, we've been trying to shut this
I
thing
know.
down.
He keeps going, man.
I'm sorry.
He's like me.
Keep going.
3 hours later.
I think it's time to seal the deal.
HTown Wheelhouse, the anthology.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you, dude. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you,
Definitely,
Brett.
thank you.